Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, for your Christmas special, it's going to be a super long macro game between Olympus and Waryong here on Heartbreak Ridge. Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates it, and happy, really good and really fun game, everybody else. Let's go ahead and get right on into it here on, again, Heartbreak Ridge. Left side, we've got ourselves a Red Protoss player. It is Olympus, who we have cast a few of his games recently. He's a really solid Protoss player. Like, he took down Terror in one of the games that I cast of his. That drone is not working. And on the right side, we've got a Teal Zerg player, Waryong, who's got a solid, like, 350, 370 APM, but this drone is not actually doing anything right now. Ay, caramba. There we go. Now all the drones are going to work. Everything is cool. We're talking in rectangles. So this replay comes from, I think I got this out of a replay pack off of Team Liquid. And I was like, okay, so this is a super long replay. There's no way it works. So I watched through on 16 times speed, because that's what I'll do sometimes if I feel like there's a good chance maybe it'll work if I really want to cast it. And by golly, it works. So go figure. Go figure on that one. So, pachow, what do we get? A lot of rectangle talking. On the other side, there's nothing going down here for Olympus. He's not making a forge. He wants to go Nexus first, I feel like, but he's scouting to see what's going on down here in Zergland, and he doesn't see a hatch first play. Ah, see, this drone's checking to see if there are pylons coming up for a cannon rush on this high ground, which totally sucks. Yeah, you know what? I think he might do it. Yeah, 300, 340. I really wish I knew what they were talking about here, but that's not how this works. And check this action out. He's going Nexus first against the hatch first of the Zerg. That's beautiful. I really wish we saw this more. It's all good. It's all good. Nexus first against a hatch first play. Really impossible for the Zerg player to punish this at all. Terry the Overlord is going to scout it out and see what's up. Yes, Terry. You are scouting in the right direction because there's only one place for your Protoss player to spawn, and yes, it is a Nexus first. I don't feel like that's a spoiler because your spawning pool cannot build any faster than it already is. You cannot speed anything up in a Brood War, unlike Chrono Boost, which exists in StarCraft 2. Alright, so Gateway Forge after the initial Nexus first build. Woo! Getting spicy already in here, and Waryong counters with a super fast third. Fair play, Waryong. Fair play indeed. Alright, so otherwise, what's going on here? Just hope you're all enjoying the holiday. It's a fine time here. We've got snow in the northern part of Utah, which is always nice for the Christmas season. The kids enjoy that. I usually had snowy Christmases when I was a kid too, so good nostalgia that way. Got the Christmas tree up, obviously. Kids opening their presents. It's just, overall, a pretty fantastic, pretty normal holiday season, which is always nice. They enjoyed their time off from school, and everything is just fine. So anyway, again, hope it's fine for y'all. Again, if you don't celebrate the Christmas season, totally cool as well. It's just the northern hemisphere, super dark, super cold time of the year. The shortest day of the year is the 21st. Oh, December, and that is the solstice, which somebody corrected me. I think I tried to call it an equinox, but equinox is when the days are equal to the nights. So that's like April and like October, where you have equal day and equal night, something like that. Maybe September and March. Anywho, it's December and July. I could figure this out if I wasn't casting. My brain isn't being occupied by other stuff right now. It's usually how this goes. So anything nuts on the follow-up? Not really. Cybercore coming in, makes one cannon to deal with Lings, but I mean, this probe is still hanging out and still scouting and checking eggs and seeing what's coming out of eggs. And ooh, sees a pretty fast layer timing here with metabolic boost coming up after the layer gets started. So definitely want to get some Scourge out fast to deal with potential, obviously, Corsairs, what we're going to get from the Stargate that is now warping in here from Olympus. Anyway, hope you all are doing well. Oh, man, I watched Spider-Man No Way Home twice last week, which was so good. So good. I have yet to see anybody with a negative opinion of No Way Home, okay? If you're a Spider-Man fan at all, which I think everybody's a little bit of a Spider-Man fan, right? Probably everybody. I mean, it made $260 million domestic and like 3 something internationally. So the total ended up being like $600 million in 3 days opening for this movie, which is bonkers bananas. That's just, we haven't, oh, gets the Overlord. Will the Dragoon make it home is the larger question. We haven't had, that is the second largest domestic opening in the history of movies in the United States, okay? And like the third largest international opening after Endgame and Infinity War, because apparently all anybody ever wants in the whole world are big spectacle, action-packed comic book movies, which, if you had told me that 20 years ago, that comic book movies were going to be the biggest movies in the world, bar none, and make the most money of anything in the history of cinema, I would have been like, nah, come on. Like 20 years ago, X-Men was out, the first X-Men, which was good, and it was well received, but there have been so many flops prior to this, and it wasn't really until Spider-Man 1 in 2002 by Sam Raimi that everyone's like, oh, okay, comic book movies. We can make a comic book movie that is proud to be a comic book movie, and it will do well. And it did, and Spider-Man 2 was great. One of the better comic book movies of all time, still to this day, and it's from 2004. And really, I think without those films, the MCU doesn't exist. Without the success of Sam Raimi with Spider-Man, which is, again, Marvel initial property, which they sold off because they didn't think there was any money in it and they were having money trouble. Yeah. That taught them that there is money in this, and they've been trying to get Spider-Man back ever since, but Sony's been like, nah, man. Nah, not happening. Anywho, just making an additional gateway. Templar Archives pretty quickly is maybe potentially worried about a Hydralisk bust attempt here. We are working on lurker aspect, though, so not going to be a Hydra bust. Could be some lurker pressure, however. So, again, usually a lot of these long macro games do start off with, obviously, some pretty solid macro openings. 3-base Zerg this fast, already up to 38 drones. There's 44 probes for the Protoss here, and he's taking up, he's got Archons here at 7 minutes. So, I mean, we are just playing it fast and loose. Not a lot of defense, minimal defense here today. That's a creep colony that is not even upgraded to a Sunken or a Spore. Like, that's how much we are skimping on defense right now. And by that, I mean there's no anti-air to save these Overlords. He's now morphing, oh, that into a Sunken, never mind. You don't need a Sunken. I'd recommend maybe a Spore, because that Overlord's going to die. All right, so that Overlord's dead. This Corsair's got 3 kills. Dude, this Corsair opening is sick. Okay, finally a Hydralisk pops out. A few Hydras pop out, and the Corsair has to get out of there. It does save these 2 Overlords' lives. Terry is long dead, unfortunately. And here comes some Zealot pressure. Do they have any upgrades yet? I don't think so. It's too early for that. And we got a Sunken up, another Sunken, gonna pop, maybe not soon enough, but Hydra's attacking, Ling's attacking, Sunken support. Hydra Ling Sunken is a pretty good defense. The natural base, or the third base rather, has a Sunken, and there is nothing else there. So, yeah, quickly, maybe sending some Lings to try to defend that area if that's where the Protoss army is headed. And apparently not. So 2 Sunkens now firing. That Evolution Chamber is working on an upgrade, and no, it's not. +1 Carapace canceled and denied by the Death of Evolution Chamber. Well done. Good target firing there from Olympus. I'm telling you again, Olympus capable of beating Terror. So I like you, Waryong. I do, but Olympus seems to be a really, really solid Protoss player. Well, cack, says Waryong. You canceled my upgrade. Also, don't lurk. Burrowed lurker in the midst of Zealots and got killed before it even could burrow. Now now they have to get out of there because they didn't bring detection with them. Because who brings detection with them? Honestly, who? Do we even have a robotics facility? We do. We have an observatory yet. Production tab says, I guess we'll make one of those. Sure. So that means the lurkers are a billion times more effective than they otherwise should be because there's no observers on the field. Oh, full surround on that Archon means it's dead. Archon's really good against Lings, but not when they're fully surrounded by them. Not many things are very good against Lings when there's a full surround. When they can get all that surface area just getting attacked by Lings at the same time, that DPS output is insane and then you die. I don't care what it is. I guess maybe not Ultralisks. They have a hard time taking down Ultras. I guess they have full upgrades, though. Cracklings with Adrenal, 3-3. Maybe they can pull it off. Queen's Nest coming in from Waryong. Feels like he's trying to get up to the Defiler stuff pretty quickly, which makes a ton of sense. That is what makes Zerg viable. Cannons defending. Corsairs is hunting Overlords. You're going to get another one. Are they? Corsairs each soaking up their own damage. One finally goes down. Like, I just want this one Overlord to die, thank you. And then just gonna... Okay, we're just throwing away Corsairs here, it's fine. Sometimes that happens. Now trying to set up maybe for a 4th base, because obviously the Protoss 3rd is up and rolling quite nicely. He did mine through these minerals in the back door, unlike the Zerg player. So you can transfer probes more easily into this area, but also leaves you vulnerable. So like if this base dies, then Lings can run down this way and into your back door and into your main and your natural at the same time. If this front wall doesn't mean anything, yeah, it's problematic. So like I said, lurker pressure. There are observers though, and more observers in production, but also Storm is done. So you're gonna, there you go, storming 2 of those lurkers, double storming them, not just the one. Had to use some other storm on the Lings, threatening the front here too, so a couple of these lurkers are extremely injured and ready to fall down if they get sneezed upon. Actually expanding to 12 o'clock for the 4th base instead. All right, very good. Going for Singularity Charge. This is the time in ZVP when it comes down to the Dragoons and Zealots. They're going to handle those lurkers very well. They're going to handle the Lings fairly well too. Some Archons in there. Really nothing changes until Dark Swarm is out, and then suddenly Dragoons are bad. So, drops time. Hey, look at this. Waryong understands the importance of drops in ZVP. What? Let's do this. Waryong, I believe in you. Let's do this thing. Let's go. Drops time. Don't get scouted by this army randomly crossing the map. Oh, and actually taking down your 4th base, too. So, forcing a cancel there. Drone gets out of there alive because it's very fast. And do you see this? Oh, yeah, you see this. This can't be anything but drops. So, the Overlords are just running. Storm, a bit of a whiff there. And let's see here. We're going to move across and try to see what we can get done and simultaneously defend the drop on the other side. Sure. Just what you do here, Protoss, is you storm where the Overlords are dropping stuff. And there it is. There's a beautiful storm on those Lings. Not many of them survive. And then you got to go after the lurkers because otherwise you're in a lot of trouble. Another great storm there. And that just gets basically cleaned up. Oh, the storms. I'm just going to say storm about 87 times in this game. I think that's going to be my plan today, is just say it a million times. 6 kills, not bad. I mean, the probe count is down to 44, which it was higher than that. So a bunch of probes in the main base go down, but not like all of them are gone or anything. Resaturating that gas pretty easily. I think... Oh, I don't know what was over here. I guess these were just cannons, yeah. Just le canons. No problemo. So Zealot denying top left and Zealot denying bottom right. Bottom right, Zealot is going to die. So maybe the drone can expand down here. This is not where the drone wants to expand, mind you. But he will. He will anyway. His Ling's cruising around. Adrenal glands coming in, which will make them insanely good in like a minute and a half. Right now, they're still good against Dragoons. Not as good against Zealots as after they get Adrenal, though. That's for sure. I do want to give a quick shout out to one of my subscribers, Critter. He's going through some tough times recently. I just hope if you're watching this, buddy, that you're doing okay. We're thinking about you. Us in the Discord server and myself especially, and just hope you're doing all right. And if you need to talk to anybody, we're here. Merry Christmas, Critter. All right. What is it? 131 and 94 supply, but once again, without Storm here, this is not actually going super well for Olympus. It's a lot of lurkers, and then Ling support, and where are the High Templar? Have they all been turned into Archons? Quite possibly, and the Adrenal is done. So these Lings with their +1 attack and Adrenal are just quite scary. Quite scary indeed. And with metabolic boost, they're fast. They can surround you, you'll die, but if you just keep moving, it is harder. There's that surround I was talking about. But Zealots are in the mix. That is a lot of Zerglings, man. This Waryong is a Zerg after my own heart. Ling's good. Until Storm comes out, and then Lings are not as good anymore. Or, you know, Reavers. Olympus has taken the 6 o'clock, and he's very glad the Lings did not spot this, but they spotted it now. And let's see if they can take this thing down before the responding army stops them. Not, there you go. They're going for guaranteed damage. They're killing a ton of probes. And maybe trying to get the next at the same... Oh, they get the High Templar. Oh, 2 High Templar get sniped. Waryong doing some good work, and they're going to save the Nexus, but that is a very, very stiff wind will knock it downable Nexus here. There's 300 HP on this thing, and guess what's headed this way? More Zerglings. And there's lurkers out here too, so that is just not super mega ideal. This base is going to die for Olympus. And yeah, get to the High Templar. Oh, I got to storm off anyway. What a jerk. Oh yeah, this is just not enough to save this at all. Goodbye, 6 o'clock base. Zealots very bravely with their +2 attack, just getting eaten alive by these cracklings. Alright, so that's a good win for Waryong for sure. He got his 12 o'clock base back. He's kind of droning it up a little bit. There's no income there whatsoever. Nice Scourge hit on the Observer. And down here there's a probe scouting and maybe harassing at Waryong's bottom right base that he's taking too. So Waryong pretty happily sitting on 5 bases right now. And by that I mean this 12 o'clock base is going to die again. Because there are Archons and Zealots and detections probably coming soon. And by that I mean there's no detection coming soon at all. Probably going to have to double storm that lurker to take it down because it is causing some smaller problems here. Oh, more lurkers though. Okay, all right. There's an observer here, but where are the observers you're bringing on your battles, Olympus? And million Zergling march ready to go again. Oh, that storm was just absolutely sickly placed for sure. Which one of you has these two? One of these guys has the kills. We'll see. Okay, so 12 o'clock dies. That is something that Olympus needed to do to win this game. He's just working on more of the same, man. It's Dragoons, it's High Templar, it's Archons. You could probably start maybe getting into Reaver tech, especially considering the fact that Waryong loves these Lings as much as he does. And that means he's probably going to go for Ultralisks at some point, too. I mean, if you're making this many Lings and getting these upgrades for Lings 2/2s, it means you're probably going to be considering strongly Ultralisks at some point. What else is going on? I'm playing Knights of the Old Republic 2 right now, which is like the most morally ambiguous Star Wars game I've ever played. It's very interested in gray areas and the complexity of choices that you make in life. Like, just as one example of so many, you can take down this crime boss, right? This crime lord that's causing all the suffering across the sector of the galaxy. You take him down, and then everybody... There's Ensnare! Okay. Alright, I think these lurkers are probably all dead, but Ensnare does slow the attack speed of these units. Slows their move speed, but God, doesn't stop Storm at all. Okay, yeah, the Ensnare, I guess, helped a little bit, but not as much maybe as Waryong wanted it to. But you take down this crime warlord, and the game is very clear to communicate to you that the crime warlord was providing stability for a lot of the sector. And now that he's gone, it's descending into chaos, and more people are suffering than before. And it's just like, oh, I like it. We're acknowledging complexity in real-life situations, and not everything is a black and white, right-wrong decision. And sometimes doing the right thing causes harm to more people in the short term, and maybe even the long term. It's a mess. So, man, no one told me Knights of the Old Republic 2 had this incredible system going on. This incredible perspective. But anyway, it's pretty great. There's a lot of talking, but I think that's necessary for what they're trying to do. Let's see. Olympus setting up his 6 o'clock base. Getting a 4th base is kind of paramount to him. We're at the 18-minute mark, and he doesn't have a 4th. So Heartbreak Ridge does not have a million places to expand. Which for the Zerg player is bad, because they kind of want a million places to expand, don't you know? It's really heavy on this lurker stuff. It's not like it's Hydro Lurker, which we have seen more in the current meta. I'm pretty sure this game is about 10 years old, if I had to guess. 10, maybe 8 or 9 years old, somewhere around there. Oh, Scourge taking down a shuttle that was shuttling some zealots into the main base of Waryong. There's literally no defense in here whatsoever. There is a pair of Lings in those eggs, though. And the response is real. He knows. He saw it because he's got the Scourge hanging out in this location, and that allows the Lings to respond properly to this, and all these Zealots are just completely dead because, again, these are Cracklings. And there's no armor upgrades on these Zealots at all. Would it help if they had armor upgrades? Yes. Enough? Not really, and that's why we don't have them. Crackling DPS is just so high that having armor is like, okay, you reduce the attack this half second now, but there's another one coming in half a second. So surrounding that Archon, nicely done. Dark Swarm is up for the first time today, and the Archons are pretty happy about that. Dragoons are like, gotta back it out, though. Gotta back it out, boys. There is just too many bugs on the field. We don't like the bugs. Ooh, Another Dark Swarm gets tossed down. The Zerglings are nom 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 nom. Yum nom 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 yumming here. And yes, a lot of Zerg died, but the more important thing is that Olympus was forced to back up a bit. Protoss armies are a lot scarier when they are on your front doorstep. If you can keep them here, or maybe even this far away, you're going to feel better about it as a Zerg player. Third time's the charm for Waryong, taking this 12 o'clock base again. Hey look, an Ultralisk Cavern. Remember what I said about Ultras? Maybe eventually in this game? We're getting there at 20 minutes. Are we anywhere near done in this match? No. Not at all. Keep thinking this is a drone up here, but it's just an Overlord. I do think dot sizes should be different for bigger and smaller things. Talked about that a lot. Usually for Spider Mines. A Dark Archon is out, though. Dude, we have Queens and Dark Archons and Ensnare getting tossed down, too. Dude, this is a fantastic game just for the sheer number of stuff we don't normally see. And the red and the green is kind of Christmassy, isn't it? Huh, what an appropriate game for December the 25th, 2021. Zerglings killing Archons like crazy. Lurkers burrowing in. This is not a big army for Waryong. He's down like 15-20 supply. But Lurkers under Dark Swarm are pretty hard to crack, even if you do have your Zealots and your Archons, which is true. Dark Archon took a bunch of hits there. I don't know that I've seen Maelstrom get researched or Mind Control. I guess we're just here for feedback. Sure, for feedback with this Dark Archon. Oh, there's one up there. You don't have the energy. All right, cool. We're just gonna keep running around, maybe try not to die because you're not cheap, right? You're 2 Dark Archons worth. That's a lot of gas. Because Archons are the same thing, though. A lot of gas. 300 gas there. Dark Swarms once again, and Olympus is just sort of not interested. Not engaging here. Another ensnare, but in a situation where it's not... Okay, now we're engaging. Like, if you ensnare an army and they're not actively engaging with you, it took down an Observer, but there are still 2 here. That one doesn't connect. Again, slowing the attack speed is nice, and it's really good. I'm not really sure why we don't see more Queen usage against Protoss like this. God, the Storms are disgusting, though. Lurker count is equally disgusting, and these Zealots are taking a lot of spines to the face. God, they're getting whittled down in HP even before they engage with anything because those Lurkers are doing so much work. Oh, the Lurkers, they know they're being detected, so they're running for their lives now. A lot of their brethren are exploding in the ground with a blood splatter. 12 o'clock base by Waryong alive because he actually has some static defense and some Lurkers here, too. So that's good. There's your Maelstrom upgrade coming in from Olympus. Olympus. Oh, here's wait. Feedbacking. That's the feedback sound. We don't hear that a lot. Look at that. Queen's energy knocked to 0. Very good. Feedback converts the energy in a caster and turns it into damage against the caster. That Dark Archon has done some work, but that death animation for Dark Archons in the remaster is so abrupt. It always makes me kind of giggle when it happens. It's like pop. It just like pops like a balloon. Boom. Done. Like no big explosion from Archons. Zealots go, Dragoons. Dark Archons go pop. And that's it. That is all she wrote. Chitinous plating on the way. More Ultralisks, perhaps, coming in. So this is a game where Waryong needs to take this top left, I think, to win it. He is on even base count against Protoss right now, which is not how you want to play this game at all, ever. Storm is a really good unit. 15 kill High Templar. Wings casually cruising around. They've got the 3-2 upgrades, working on that +3 attack, but a little bit late. Archons are at 3 attack, 2 armor, which means the Zealots and the Druids there are as well. Something tried to come down. Did drones try to come down this way? Infestors? I mean, Defilers? That's what I meant. Zerglings chasing against ensnared Zealots. Oh, they're really good against non-ensnared Zealots. That should not have gone well for those Lings as it did because they were so outnumbered, but you know. Ensnare's good. Adrenal Glands is good. Ooh, taking the center base. We don't see this a lot. We really don't see people trying to take the center base of Heartbreak Ridge ever hardly at all, I would say. But, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. I mean, this is where Olympus can't. This is his. he can't take it, and the top left is also really hard to access. And wow, look at this. It's like, well, either I'm going to expand up here, I'm going to kill what Waryong's trying to do up here, and the answer is kill what Waryong's trying to do up here and protect the center base with everything that we've got. Plague on the way. Finally, a robotic support bay in that production tab. So we're going for Dem Reavers. Just telling you, Lings, at this stage of the game, like, Zealots are super good against Zerglings right up until the point they have Adrenal. And they just Lings scale so well with Adrenal Gland. It's not even fair. And Zealots just kind of lose their favorite sun position there, you know? I don't know what Olympus is trying to do up here other than kind of try to set up a choke for the Zerg players to funnel through as they move on in. Scourge really want to kill observers today. And they do, but there's no lurkers to really take advantage of the fact there's no detection here. And then when the lurkers burrow in, they just get stormed anyway, so whatever. That lurker doesn't get burrowed in. It's dead inside the Dark Swarm. Yeah, center, this is important. The longer the game goes on, no matter what the game is, the more resources that get taken in by somebody, the bigger bank they have, the better. Plague-oo catches, I think, 2 Archons. Oh, and a Zealot, so not the greatest. Oh, I guess more Zealots. More Zealots is good. We might end up seeing the, wow, the very rare Plague and Snare combo with the Strawberry Jam and the, Mucus? So the Green Goo, right? Green Goo's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing. The Secret of the Ooze is what turns the turtles into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The ooze is very green and kind of does look like radioactive snot. Yeah, I was like absolutely perfectly in the wheelhouse of the target demographic for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when it came out in the mid to late 80s. So it was my thing. I haven't really watched it in a while. Raphael was my favorite turtle for sure. I loved the TV show. I had a few of the action figures. I always wanted their blimp. The turtle blimp, but that never happened. Yeah, storm it up, storm it up. Pretty good storm drop down to 31 drones. That's not ideal. 31 drones at 27 minutes seems really bad. So, this does make it interesting though, right? If Waryong takes this top left, I said he was going to win, but Olympus is really solidly taking the center, which has 2 assimilators, and is therefore pretty awesome. So that puts it more on even footing. Boom, boom, boom. 2 more Dark Templar. Ooh. 2 Dark Templar coming in from Olympus. That's interesting. Reavers doing Reaver things. Lurkers doing Lurker things here. So, like I said, I already spoiled at the beginning. This was not going to be 2 20-minute games. This is a longer macro game. So it makes sense. This is all lining up for what we know. Right? Top left, Zerg player, center, Protoss, which puts us at relatively even status here. It's hard to say. Hey, look. Get an Amulet coming in. Plus 50 Templar energy is going to be good. Spellcaster energy and spellcasters in general are better once the map is mined out, because energy is a replenishable resource. Units are not. If units die, that's it. And units in combat are usually dying. I guess for Zerg anyway. Less so for Protoss. Their units are a bit beefier. That is a dead shuttle if I ever saw one. And those Dark Templar are dead. Oh, he unloaded them. Oh, great storm. Oh my gosh, that was a great storm. Look at him one-shotting these Link. Dude, this guy, the drones have to fight it. Dark Templar coming through. Swipe it again. Great micro here from Olympus, by the way. Really, really fantastic micro. So now, I mean, it was allowed to get 2 more drone kills before it died. By that, I mean 3 more drone kills before it died. And now it's out of detection range. And now it's dead. Wow. That was way more effective of a drop than I was expecting to be. More Dark Archons on the way, too. Scourge, like, we let that drop through. Cover the far left side now. Okay, we have sufficient coverage, I think, for drops that come from the main base. The top left, we're going to shut those suckers down. 3 Ultras. in that production tab coming out of these little tiny eggs, which are the same size that 2 lings come out of, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but a lot of the gameplay facts do not make any sense lore-wise for StarCraft, and that's because balance is more important than lore in these situations. I just got a random email from Nibbler. If you remember him from my Sunday streams especially, he just says, random thoughts from 11:15 p.m. I feel like Dark Swarm should protect from a boxer maneuver. It's like, all right, interesting thought from perspective of the Zerg. Dude, I cannot believe this. What? Slipped right in. Good pull. Not a bad pull, actually. And then, ow. Shuttle down. High Templar has no energy, is therefore useless to everybody. Maybe he will be forgotten, but I feel like Lings are coming in to assassinate him now. Put these drones back to work, Waryong. But yeah, for those who are unaware, the boxer maneuver is just when you irradiate your own science vessels and then run them over a mineral line like this one. And then the splash damage from the irradiate spell kills drones. So the way to deal with that as Zerg is to burrow. Research, burrow, and then they're fine. They're protected from the splash damage of irradiate when they're burrowed. They're not protected from direct damage where they get directly irradiated because that's how that works. But they're not suffering direct damage either. Because it doesn't make any sense to irradiate a single burrowed drone. That's not worth the energy. So, yeah. Dark Swarm is good, but researching burrow is cheaper? You can research burrow for everything for 100, and then when the science vessels come in, all you gotta do is burrow. You're done. Spores up. He's like, okay, my little defense network here is not doing as well as I envisioned it. So we're going to throw up some spores, and everyone's just kind of casually mining. This bottom right base is going to mine out soon. This 6 o'clock base is going to mine out soon. Center is, yeah, actually pretty low on minerals too. Actually. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Not going to be long now before these are entirely mined out. Oh, we're getting Maelstrom. Wait, did we already research? I swear we already saw Maelstrom coming up in that production tab. I think we did. We did. But, he probably canceled it for something else important. Getting shield batteries, too. Oh, this is a great game. Shield batteries, Dark Archons, Queens, Maelstrom, Ensnare, Feedback. Queen's doing more stuff. I don't know that they... I mean... Spawn Ruling is pretty good against High Templar, but not really worth it for a single Dragoon. You can't do it against Archons. Not worth it against Zealots either. Can't do it against Reavers. If you could spawn Broodling Reavers, you'd see a lot more Reaver usage. Or a lot more Queen usage in PvZ. Maybe less Reaver usage. Alright, so Ultralisks are here. They're fully upgraded, 6 armor, etc., etc. Looking real scary. Everybody's like, okay, we've been battling for a full 30 minutes now. We're going to sit back. We're going to bank up. We're both maxed out here. APMs are slowing down a little bit because there's not as much to do. They both got good vision. Ah, here's a lurker attack, though. Trying to get some of them probes. And feedbacking the Queen into just non-existence. Committing unalive, as my 13-year-old son would say. Some of you with kids might be like, yeah, kids. That's what's going on these days. So, I don't know. It's good to keep a good perspective. Like, here's the thing. Do we find a lot of what kids do these days to be cringy and embarrassing? Yeah. Do you remember when you were a kid and the stuff that you did that was cringy and embarrassing? Probably not. Maybe you forgot it. But guarantee you did. Every rising generation has their own stuff that they get really excited about that looks dumb to adults. But that's the point. It's not for the adults. It's for the kids. So I do try to keep that perspective going when it comes to things like Fortnite and Among Us and all of the things that kids are into. He says, quoting, like, referencing things that are like years old at this point, because, you know, I'm an old man. It's cool. I get it. I only have certain levels of connection to the younger generation because of my kids. Mind control. There it is. And Gamete Meiosis for Queen Energy? Dude. We were pulling out all the stops in today's celebratory Christmas cast. Yeah, man. I mean, the minerals are gone. We are just oversaturating the depleted assimilators because that's all we can do right now. Protoss income is out. That's it. He's got 3,000 minerals. That's going to be 3,363. He will never get more than this unless he manages to kill this base or this base and take it, but I don't think he's interested in doing that, honestly. He's turtling up. The gas income will go up because you do get 2 gas per return on an expired assimilator, which is why we still see workers on every one of these older assimilators here. So the late game plan... Let's see what his plan is. Dark Archons apparently figured quite heavily into this. Mind Control on Ultralisks is definitely worth it. Mind Control on Queens might be pretty interesting too. Maelstrom can catch Ultra Balls as they're coming in and allow you to get free shots off before they actually attack you. Oh my gosh, he did the thing! Spawn Broodling on a High Templar! Woo-wee! Oh, that was a thing. Oh! Oh, mind controlled something. What was it? I heard the mind control sound. Oh, got a queen! Got his own pet queen. That should be interesting. Doesn't have a lot of energy yet, but that will come soon. But yeah, if you're not watching the Sunday streams, you should tune in. They're a lot of fun. We get a lot of weird strategies. We get some good high-level stuff. Some Code S stuff, some professional stuff. Fastest map is a big part of it, too. It's just going to be every Sunday. Gets another High Templar and Reaver's Fire, which means those are minerals that need to be replaced for Scarabs, which is not ideal. So Reaver's not a great late-game unit for that reason. Yeah, I mean, this is turning into an interesting game where we're just going to sacrifice probes to free up supply, which is not something you see a whole lot. But once again, this is a map with not many places to expand, and therefore the use of probes is lower than on other maps. Overlord just in scouting positions here. Everything's cool. This probe is going to try to take down spawning pool all by himself. This is very brave. 5 more queens from Waryong. He's like, you know what I need here is more queens. What's Olympus going to replace his tech with? That's the question. Or his probes, right? He lost a bunch of probes there. Oh, mind controls another queen. Bring it back into the fold. Get chased down the traitor. Ensnare the traitor. Murder the traitor. They murder the traitor. It's not the traitor's fault. It was brainwashed. Waryong's like, wink. Exactly what I'm talking about here. Zzz, says Olympus. Maybe Olympus is keeping this supply free. It's association. Scouts Association? What do we think this is trying to say? Yeah, he's not replacing that extra supply that he lost from probes. I wonder if he's waiting to see what makes the most sense based on the game situation that we're going to come up on here. Because Zerg player mining out, he's got 6,000 minerals and 2,500 gas. So he's got a bigger bank than the Protoss does, but he's going to need it because of the cost efficiency of the Archons, the shield batteries, the Queens, the Zealots, where he did get 323 upgrades on those. He never went for the 400-403 upgrade for shields. Olympus keeps saying disassociation. I'm not sure if that's coming across accurately, though. I'm going to say probably not the case. Working on +3 missile attack. I'm assuming that's what that is for Waryong. Not that he has any Hydralisks at all. I don't know that he does, actually, have any Hydralisks anywhere on the map right now. Every Hydra he's made, he's turned into a lurker for the last 20 minutes, probably. Scourge scouting around, seeing, okay, there's some Zealots and Dark Archons in here, some shield batteries, some Reavers. It's going to be really hard to crack with any kind of a drop. Scourge continuing to scout around a bit while also not dying. That would be good. And you know what this spawn brooding attack has done? It's made High Templar moderately non-viable, right? There's one here, and there's one here. But we're not seeing a lot of that. We're not seeing a whole bunch of that at the moment. They're just casually chatting back and forth here at 39 minutes. Zerg player slowly mining out. Someone's got to make an assault somewhere here, but they really both seem more interested in waiting around for the other person to maybe attack into a position that is not advantageous to them. Making a mistake, perhaps? Yeah, I mean, so we've got here 4, 5. Okay, so maybe 3 minutes. Maybe 4 minutes worth of minerals on the top left base, and that's going to be it. There is a patch of 4 minerals left here in the natural for the Zerg player, though. I apologize for missing that one. Yeah, the chit-chattery is back and forth doing what they do. I've also been watching The Witcher Season 2 on Netflix, which has been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Season 2. But man, the book readers are up in arms about this one. I had no idea how mad they were until I found a Reddit thread the other day where they're like, they changed this and they changed this, which is normal stuff, right? Movie and TV adaptations of books change stuff. They just do. They have to in a lot of situations. What is this plan? What are you doing? Not dropping, that's for sure. Just trying to see if we can maybe find something to spawn Broodling that's worth it besides, you know, Zealots. Ah, mind control's an Overlord. Okay. I mean, it's detection. It's a shuttle, too. So that's nice. I don't think the Queen sees this High Templar up here. Doesn't want to get close enough to get mind controlled either. But yeah, anyway, they are... Oh, wow. Look, he really wants to murder those traitors that he sees. Dude, there is just nowhere to go here. Did you mind control a lurker? What do you get? Oh, another, he tosses it in snare down so he can't get chased down, and the Queen makes it back safely. So yeah, we're just trying to whittle down the other army here using mind control. Oh, there's another one. Using spawn broodling and tossing down ensnares from time to time. Anyway, they're mad because some of the things that changed they're really mad about. And they're also super mad because apparently what happens sometimes in Season 2 is a character will say a line that is really well beloved by the readers of the books, but the line will be used in a situation where it doesn't make sense, or it's missing the larger context, the reason why the book readers love the line. So it makes them feel like they're just not understood, which is never a good feeling, right? They feel like the showrunners, they superficially understand, ensnare, and tries to get that Queen. Really trying to... The focusing on the stuff that's got to mind controlled is hilarious here by Waryong, honestly. So yeah, it makes them feel like the showrunners have read the book, but they don't understand the books, and they don't want to do what the books have done that have made the fans of the books the fans of the books. Yep, Queen down, discouraged there. And so that just enrages them more. So it's not super great. They're very mad. I get it. Like the Cowboy Bebop, I'm on the side of the original anime fans, where I watched the original anime, I love the original anime, and the live action is an abomination on the original anime. But someone who hasn't seen the anime might have a perfectly fine opinion of the Netflix live action. Oh, gets a Zealot. Decides to actually go after Zealots with Spawn Broodling there. So it's really like knowledge, right? They talk about, it's a very long time literature concept, cursed with knowledge. I think it's even Greek. Like they even talk, like Cassandra. She is cursed to know the future, but nobody will believe her. So in that way, it's a curse with knowledge thing. But this is more a curse with knowledge in that you know what the original is and how good it is. And then something else comes along to adapt it and is bad. And because you know how good the original is, you recognize how bad the adaptation is. Whereas other people who are not in your position don't know. I don't know if I'm agreeing with Waryong here in his decision to kill off overlords that have been mind controlled. That cannot be a big deal. I want to see him pick stuff up in the overlord. He can do that, right? If you mind control an overlord that already has transport picked up, spawn broodling on lurkers is hot. You get all the upgrades that come in. And this is now Waryong sacrificing his drones, because he doesn't need them anymore, because all the minerals are gone on the map except for the 4 minerals over here, which will be called Harry from now on. Alright. So actually working on that +3 shield upgrade here, which again is 400. Because Olympus is like, what else am I going to spend my money on, I guess? You could max out, I guess. There we go. 5 more queens, 3 more sets of Scourge coming in, and 4 Ultralisks. So Waryong is remaxing. Olympus, not as interested in that thing. Not even the tiniest bit of interest. Bow. So, I mean, someone's gotta go. I would call this a Mexican standoff, except there's only 2 people. And Mexican standoffs need 3 at least, I think. I'm not an expert in such a thing, but that's what I understand it to be. Yeah, we just need someone to blink. Someone needs to try to kill at least some buildings. Oh, like, the Dark Archon. Get out of there, man. No. Ah, saved! Hot pickup, hot pickup. And the shield battery comes in to help the guy out. Oh, man. This is really slowed down, but holy crap, is it fun anyway. That queen's dead, and she knows it. She is deep. Ooh, she spawned Broodlings and Ultralisk, which is a massive use of energy. A really effective use of energy here. Like, it's a reason we don't see a lot of Ultras in ZVZ is because Spawn Broodling is super ultra mega good. The murderer of the Defiler goes down. And I don't know about Waryong consistently using Scourge for this because they're gas heavy and they're not replaceable in any sense, and they die when they attack anything, so they're really some of the least cost efficient units in the game. They're good, they're just not cost efficient. Like, it doesn't matter as much if you're not super cost efficient at the 10-minute mark or 15-minute mark of the game, but it sure matters at 46 on this map. No, these lings getting thrown away is not efficient either. But efficiency matters now. Alright. Feels like we're gearing up. Feels like it's time. Waryong's 192 supply. Oh, it's actually working on now. He's getting +3 missile, maybe. It's impossible to know because there are no Hydralisks on the map. Are we doing this, baby? No, we're doing it. The Ultras are committing here. Oh, there's the Maelstrom! The Ultras are vulnerable, but they cannot attack. But there's nothing attacking them, so it's a bit of a waste, actually. Oh, mind control on the Ultralisks. Maelstrom on the Ultralisks. Brother against brother right now. Can they hold on? Gotta get out of there. The spell casting is too powerful from Olympus. Oh, Spawn Broodling on another Ultra. Mind controls another queen and then gets out again. Ensnare. Cast. No. Ensnare on the red queen. Okay, she makes it back. She makes it back. Okay, we're going to maybe try a Ling Defiler attack on this base to kill it. That would be a good use. That would be an efficient use of resources because none of your Lings should die. And all these buildings will die, and it will bring you that closer to winning the game because all you got to do is kill the buildings in StarCraft and your opponent dies. Even if they have a big scary army running around. No buildings, out. Quit. 10 Ultralisks. Waryong's like, well, that giant Ultralisk attack didn't work this time, but, you know, maybe you have 5 more Ultralisks. It'll totally work. Reaver in the house. Reaver's great in this situation. Ling's running into a bit of a meat grinder situation. Where are you rolling? I mean, that's just a bad command, I think. He was like, join the rest of the army. And they're like, we'll pass through the Protoss main base. Seems like a terrible life choice. Okay, we're coming from the south now. And everywhere, actually. The south and the north. Jumping on top of them cannons. And Snare's getting tossed down the Reaver. Does it slow their attack speed? I'm not sure. Another Maelstrom on those. Finally, some Dark Swarm at the same time. Archon's doing their splash damage inside their Ultras. Getting inside the Dark Swarm. Trying to take down ye old Reavers as hard as they can here. It's an absolute chaos situation right now. And I think Olympus is bailing. There's too many Ultralisks right now. There's really only 2 Archons to fight this. There's only 1 Archon to fight this. High Templar dying would be amazing. Maelstrom catches the High Templar. Not something you see every time. The red and the green on the Dark Archons is really festive. Psionic Storm finishing off the Ultralisks. Another Ensnare gets cast down. Lurkers burrowing in. Is there any detection here? I don't know that there is, but sometimes Storm is your detection, as we've seen over and over again. So it looks like the center at least is going to die for Olympus. Ultralisk with 6 kills is not going to continue on his rampage as the Archons finish him off with their gosh darn full upgrades. Like, is that 6 armor? They get 6 armor with full upgrades. That's Ultralisk level armor, man. They're as tanky as Ultras are, and they do splash damage, which Ultras don't. What a good unit Archons happen to be. Alright, so that Ultra is gone, and yeah, this center base is dead too. So Olympus, he doesn't really need it for anything. I don't think there was any tech here. There were some shield batteries, yes, but look at Olympus. Remember how many Ultras he made? It was a lot, and now he's done 103 supply. I mean, 167 supply, 2,000 minerals. Olympus is only at 103 supply and 1,000 minerals. That is not good. Olympus in a bit of a tough, dire situation here, but you know, if you go 50 minutes in a ZVP, whoa! Hydralisk tech switch, and they've got the +3 attack. I knew it. I knew it was the +3 attack the second time I saw it come through the production tab. Ah, more Archons is a mistake. More Archons is a mistake here. Dude, Waryong's at 183 to 109 supply. He should probably win this game. I would honestly just take some time and clear this out. Just Dark Swarm it and send some Lings down and just get rid of it. Just get it off your mind. But, you know, Waryong, better player than I am. He's decided not to do that, and I can't really begrudge him that decision, I suppose. He's going, but he's doing the same thing for this. Oh, no, he's going. He going. He coming. Here comes that Zerg. Lings Ultras running headfirst into Archons and Reavers, and Dark Swarm is up. And Maelstrom, never mind, Maelstrom is up. There is the insanity on display right now. Dark Swarm now gets cast. Another Ensnare, which does friendly fire and causes problems for Ultralisk, slowing their attack speed too and movement speed. That is not ideal. The Hydras are attacking into their own Dark Swarm. No! Waryong, don't attack things inside Dark Swarm. It works on you too. Reaver down, Reaver down. 160 to 60 total supply. That Nexus is gonna die. I don't know that Olympus can do this, but he's making more Reavers. Waryong's money is gone. The Reaver's getting hits off. Then no, the Queens are useless against anything except for the High Templar. And okay, never mind. The High Templar are going down pretty quickly here. Handful of Hydralisks. The choke point is real. I really kind of feel like Waryong should pull back, but he doesn't have the money to pull back at all. Reaver gets caught up. Does explode, doing some damage. Yes! Catching a... What is happening to Waryong's army? Waryong's army is gone. He's got a couple Ultralisks remaining. They got 2 kills, 5 kills on that one. Feedback on the Defiler, and then the Reaver chase. And I think Olympus just held on when he was down 80 supply. He was down 80 supply during that attack. But choke point positioning, Dark Swarm protecting the stuff the Hydralisks were killing. Not the greatest control from Waryong I've ever seen. Oh, hang on. Reaver's taking massive hits. Oh, Reaver's saying no. I'm not taking massive hits. God, it's so long to kill an Archon with all of their armor upgrades. Who knew? Handful of Hydras. A Lurker is here, but I just don't. I don't know, man. Oh, Reaver shot. Catching the Lurker and some Lings as they roll in. Pulling back. It's 14 to 3 on the mineral count. An Archon goes down. Another Archon goes down. But it's only 3 Hydralisks. Oh, he gets a Reaver, though. But it's not enough. He just killed his own Reaver by accident? I think he might have just killed his own Reaver. That's not great. Queens. And GG Olympus! What? Olympus GG's out. I think he won the game, though. Hold on a second. 53 minutes. Hit that like button if you enjoyed that display, because holy cannoli, that was insane. That was insane. Wow. Yeah, I know Olympus said GG there, because he's like, man, all I got is 3 Archons and a Dark Archon with not enough energy for anything, and a single High Templar with enough energy for 1 Storm, and like an Observer. That's it. That is his army, man. He brought everything down to this party. But guess what the Zerg player has? Nothing. The Zerg player has no units. No, wait, hold on. What are these guys doing down here? Did he forget about these Lings? These Lings might have made all the difference in the known world. I think Waryong forgot he had these because, oh my gosh. I mean, I know there were, oh, and there's some Hydras up here too. Oh, and there's 2 Ultralisks. Hold on. I may have misjudged the situation. Okay. So these queens, they don't have energy for Spawn Broodling, or they probably would have cast it, and they already did, right? But eventually, they'll have enough energy for Spawn Broodling. They can take this High Templar down, unless it's inside the shuttle, which would be actually a sick move. But, okay, we're going to tally this up real quick for Waryong. 2 Zerglings. Okay, 2 Lings. 3 Hydralisks. 2 Ultralisks. Both at full health and full upgrades. And then another 12 Lings down here. Another 14. So 14 Lings. Yeah, okay. You know what? Waryong did win this game. So 14 Lings, 3 Hydras, and 2 Ultras, and a bunch of Queens to cast Ensnare and slow down that attack speed on the Archons. And obviously, the High Templar is going to die at some point here. There's just no way the High Templar can do everything that it needs to do against that large of a Zerg army. So yeah, 69 to 26 supply. A lot of that is army. Some of that is drones for Waryong because he hasn't killed all of them yet. Fair enough, dude. He saw the writing on the wall. He knew he didn't have anything. I kind of wish he'd stuck around a little bit longer because he didn't know how much money Waryong had. He didn't know what his unit count was either, but he knows there's no incoming Zerg units now, right? There's no Zerg in his immediate view. There's another Zergling and another Hydralisk too. Okay, so if Waryong just gathers all of his disparate forces, which are scattered across the land, then he wins this thing, unless there is some kind of a miracle Protoss hold here. I mean, these are fully upgraded Archons, and they are really hard to kill, but Ling surrounds are insanely good. We've seen that so many times today already. And there's Scourge, too. Like, there are just scattered Scourge around the map that could take down that shuttle. So hiding anything in the shuttle is going to be difficult. The High Templar is just going to get killed. And yeah, you know what? That's fair. That is fair. Waryong wins that game. I thought his GG was premature, but, you know, knowing what I know now with my completely omniscient observation skills, that is a game that Waryong wins, and Olympus was right to tap out. That was disgusting. Like, a disgusting ZVP. It's such a rarity to see one go this long. We had, I mean, all the upgrades on everything. I guess we didn't see much Sky Toss, but that's understandable. Not really viable here versus Zerg outside of those Corsair openings. Thanks, Bisu. All right, man. End of the day. Let's take a look at the numbers and see if they tell us the story. 384 for Waryong. 184,000 to 349,000 for Olympus. So, yeah, that's a pretty big discrepancy overall. Outproduced the Protoss 1,100 to 400. That's a big deal. Killed 9 to 3. So 3-to-1 kill-death ratio there for Olympus. Pretty good. But outproduced by more than that. Structures raised. Not actually a lot of Zerg buildings died today. That is a little surprising. Very surprising that few Zerg buildings went down. And then resources here, 94,000 to 79,000. Yeah, you know what? In a 50-minute game, having, you know, 13, 14, 15 more thousand resources spent, you're going to need that. That might not be enough in certain matches, actually. So, nice job, Waryong, getting the win here. Just... Oh, just an absolutely insanely good, really fun ZVP with all of the things you'd want to see in a really good ZVP. We didn't get carriers because they're bad against Zerg, right? Obviously, but you know, we didn't see Guardians either, which we could have. But at the end of the day, absolutely disgustingly good. All right. Great stuff. So that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a special Christmas cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.